another episode of A Wagging Success. With us today, as always, is Philip van Heerden. Hi, Philip.
Hi, Tisha. How are you? I hope well up in the north.
Nice and hot, so we're not complaining. Thank you.
Good.
Philip, today we're tackling a very important, very difficult conversation, quite frankly. We're talking about aggression in dogs. Now, aggression can take many different forms, but what we want to look at today is where does aggression come from? Because we always want to take it back to the human in the equation to help you understand your dog, understand what's going on with your dog. And if your dog struggles with aggression, then understanding where the aggression comes from and what the aggression is your absolute first step. Philip, take us away.
All right. Thank you, Tisha. I think one's got to understand and realize that no dog ever is born aggressive. We go back to what we've always said. When you get a dog, you get a blank canvas. And the picture that gets painted on that canvas by the owner is what your dog eventually becomes.
Can we say too that some dogs are more prone to aggression?
Some dogs have a natural instinct to be more aggressive or more protective. But we must also remember that it's not necessarily aggression. It's just instinct to protect. No dog ever was born aggressive. Aggression comes from basically the traits of the human. If I have a child and I never acknowledge the good that the child does, I never acknowledge the good reports that my child brings home, I am aggressive to my child. I always beat up on my child. When this kid's a teenager of 12, 13, he's going to be mixing with the wrong friends. He's going to be a dropout. He's going to end up doing drugs, etc., etc., etc. So your dog's the same. If you don't acknowledge his good behavior, if you don't train him and teach him, guide him, you're going to have a dog that's frustrated, and this dog is going to become aggressive, because frustration has many forms. It's not just not getting something. It's not being able to get out, not being able to socialize, not being able to do adaptation, not being neutered or spayed. I'm just a joke really, but you take a husband and wife and lock them in separate rooms for a month and they don't get out, they don't get to see each other. Do you think they're going to be polite people at the end of that? This is where aggression builds. Frustration, aggression. So when we get aggressive dogs, it's normally the owner's fault. I've worked on many occasions with some of the so-called worst of the worst aggressive dogs, breeds, supposedly, but they are the most amazing animals and they don't show any sign of aggression because they've been brought up the right way. They've gone to puppy school. They've learned to socialize. They've learned to socialize with human beings, with children. They're comfortable with the noise and excitement children bring. They are socialized with other dogs. Some of these guys, pit bulls for one, and the mastiff breeds, I've worked with some of them that are absolutely amazing dogs. So you can take a dog that has a strong instinct to protect, and you can literally say, I have an aggressive dog who is very protective. It's not the case. He might have that trait to protect. And it's what I always say, within these animals, all their natural instincts whether it's a Yorkie or a Great Dane, all the natural instincts are the same. Some are just inclined to have stronger instincts towards protection, towards agility, towards whatever. And these instincts that they have are the ones we need to manage more effectively. So if I have a breed that is classified as an aggressive breed, because he has this natural instinct to fight or be aggressive, I've got to manage that correctly. And by managing, it's not letting it happen and then trying to change it. It's starting when this is a puppy. And it's bringing the puppy through the system in the correct manner. If I take a puppy and I chain him up on a property, and I only pop in there to give him water and food, this dog's going to become frustrated. And by the time it's 6 months old, it's going to be aggressive. So aggression comes in many forms, but it also comes through the negligence of the human being. People today are still inclined to think that an attack dog or a working dog is an aggressive dog. It's not. You look at military Belgian Malinois as an example, my favorite breed, but you look at them. Their work is a game. They love the game.
Working, happy to get.
They're happy to bite because this is part of their game. So we do not beat up on a dog to make it a working dog and be a attack dog. It's all a game to the dog, and he loves the game. We just teach him to bite harder, and we teach him not to let go. And we teach him a high level of obedience so that when we say let go, he lets go. So one's got to be very careful about the definition of aggression. Some of your bigger breeds, like the Mastiff breeds, at 2 months he's a beautiful puppy. At 3 months he's a bit bigger and stronger. We don't take him to puppy school. We don't do adaptation, socialization. And by the time he's 6 months old, he's already quite large. And now we're trying to take him for walks, and it's not working. So he becomes what we call in South Africa a plot animal. He's put on the earth, he's enclosed. Nobody's allowed to go near him because he's not controllable. And this dog never gets out. We must remember a dog can smell a bitch on heat if there's a bit of a breeze from about 3-4 kilometers away. And being able to smell that, plus all the other smells in the air that he can sniff, and not getting out there to know what they are, this leads to the frustration. And in some of these breeds, at the end of the day, they turn around and attack their owners. And it's purely out of frustration. And then we hear, oh, terribly aggressive dog, I had to put him down. Not the dog's fault. You can take any breed and you bring him through the system correctly, and you've got one amazing animal who's gentle, who knows the rules, who's quite relaxed everywhere, and who will work when you want him to work.
So, Philip, when it comes to aggression, it really boils down to balance. From early on in this dog's life, you want to introduce balance to him. Balance in his exposure to the world, to different environments. Balance in what you praise and reward. If you only reward the negative with attention, that's what you're going to get. But also bring in balance by plenty of rewarding for the positive things that the dog does. And just generally creating a balanced foundation for this dog to work off, to take away that the basis of frustration, which can lead to aggression.
Yes, absolutely. I just take you for example with your group your training group that you had a while back. You guys used to go to special restaurants where you could take your dog and you could buy a breakfast for your dog. You could have a breakfast and the dogs could spend time there. What better way to do area adaptation, to remove reactiveness, and to make it fun for the dog?
Mm.
But behind that, it's not just going out there and just doing it. There's a purpose behind it. And it's what I tell people in life with dogs. Everything you do with a dog, there must be a purpose behind it. Use your time. It's not a training session. It's a way of life with my dog.
Mm-hmm.
Use your time to do things that are beneficial to both you and your dog. And your life with that animal will be absolutely amazing.
There we go. We will dive into other aspects of aggression over time, most likely, but this is the quickest introduction to aggression. And it just kind of sets the mood to get you thinking about where aggression truly comes from in your dog. And especially if you have a puppy now, what can you do right to set that puppy up for success for the rest of his life and to eliminate the stress and struggles of later having to rehabilitate something like aggression? Thank you so much, Philip.
It's only a pleasure, Tertia, and thank you for all your hard work again. Really appreciate it. And to everybody out there, like the video, subscribe. It gives us a reason to continue with our work.
Exactly. We will keep on doing this. Hit like and subscribe, and then we will see you again right here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.